Hi guys, how are you? Today I'm really excited to tell you the story about this painting here. This painting here is my painting, The Release. It is one of my best-selling paintings in terms of prints, and it really defines the transformation of my life and my life as a person and who I was becoming and as a painter. The whole idea for this painting came the summer of 2014 when I was going through that chaos. And the only period where there was just a breath of fresh air, where it just felt like you think for the first time in months, was when I went camping on the ocean, on the shore of Montauk. And what's so beautiful about whenever we camp there, my mom and I camp there just about every single summer. And what's so beautiful is when you're camping there, you're so disconnected from like cell phones, from Wi-Fi, like you have basically very little access to everything just based on the location of where it is. So it just allows you to be one with like the universe, one with source, allows you to disconnect from all the noise in the world, which is something I feel like we're always so inundated with, and we kind of allow to control our lives versus listening to that voice within us that wants us to just be us. I think one of the biggest things I've learned in my own personal growth journey is that we each are here for a reason. We each have these beautiful, unique qualities that often we bury deep within ourselves because of conditioning. But like when we let them out, it's almost like we give a gift to the world, because there's a reason the world gave us these innate gifts or these innate abilities to just be ourselves. So that was like the first, it was honestly after dealing with so much chaos, and this chaos has been going on for years. That summer was probably the worst of it because it was the tail end of just everything falling apart. So just everything that could possibly rise to the surface was rising to the surface. So when I was able to finally go camping for a week and just be away from the nonsense and just be on the ocean, it was just such a beautiful thing, and it was one of the first times I was just able to feel clarity and just the sense of knowing, and knowing that I was safe, and knowing that like everything was going to be okay. Because when you're one with the ocean and you're one with nature, there's just this sense of connection and the sense of truth that it's really hard to get anywhere else unless you are always going within, which is such a powerful practice that I highly recommend. So we were there that summer, and this was back in 2014. So I was in the summer between my junior year of college and my senior year of college. And what I would typically do before each semester is I would kind of try to figure out like, what am I going to paint the following semester? And prior to that, I was doing a lot of paintings at drapery because my background was in sewing, and I used to make clothing and bags and like all the above, everything you possibly imagine. I was really just into creating so many different things, so it made sense for me to kind of paint things I would create, or there was just this love of creating, like painting fabric, because that was something that was used to be my medium for so long. But I remember just sitting on the beach and the ocean is like right in front of us, maybe a few feet in front of us, and a thought came to my mind, and I was like, maybe I should paint a wave this semester or this coming year. And it was just a thought I committed to. And I actually used to paint, I used to love painting nature and waves. And that was more of my work in high school. And for some reason I felt so drawn to do fabrics. I felt like that was what I was supposed to be doing versus what I actually, what my calling was to capture nature and this energy. And that was just so, it was just so connected with who I was as a person. But for so long I was just so disconnected with that person because I was just so sucked into the mess of everything else. So I made the decision, okay, following semester I'm going to do a painting of a wave. So I actually made the stretcher and stretched the canvas and was starting to work on this painting. And one gift of that semester was I finally had a painting professor that just got me. And we were able to just talk about, her name was Jen, and we were able to just talk about what I wanted to create. And I remember telling her when I was in the process of creating this painting that I want people to feel the energy and the power that waves have but I also want them to know it was a painting. I didn't want it to be like this super realistic thing where like there are super realistic paintings and those are beautiful in themselves, but I want people to know that this was a painting. I wanted to be able to show all the beautiful marks that go into creating a painting. And I just wanted that to be there. I want to be able to show like what, like, you know, the work and the thought process, because I think that's such a beautiful part of creating art, is when you could witness that and experience that and feel like you're a part of it. To me, that's like when you feel that with art, it's just this unique power and connection to the artist. Just from my experience. So I remember telling her about this, and just for a timeline, this was the fall of 2014. So my dad was just moving out of the house at this point. There was just a huge transition period in my life. It was the first time when I finally decided that I was gonna give up costume design. I still pursued the major. I finished that degree, but for the longest time I was kind of torn between painting and costume design. My time was so divided, and I finally just decided. I reached a point where I was like, I'm going all in on painting, and I'm gonna learn how to become the best painter that I possibly could be, versus being torn between two different degrees, two different fields, essentially. So it was that major transition, and it was also a time when I was really learning to let go of so many factors that used to control me in my past. So this is one of the main reasons why I called it The Release, why I named this painting that. Because for me, it was about letting go of so many things that no longer serve me. And it was about just connecting with the inner truth of who I was and who we all are as human beings. We're pure consciousness. We're all interconnected. And it was really about, for me personally, about reconnecting with that truth, of reconnecting with the truth of who I was. And that's why that's why this painting is like such a special painting for me, and this is like the only reason I'm probably not allowed to sell this painting. I sell prints of it, but not the original, because it has such a strong truth. And one thing I find the ocean to be so amazing and so powerful, especially in Montauk where we camp, is that like you're dealing with like the source who's like giving you so much power and energy in all these ways. Because of the negative ions that are constantly being pounded onto the sand, you just feel so relaxed, and you just feel like you could let go, and like there's so much peace among so much energy. And to me, that's what makes just the ocean so powerful, this painting so powerful, because I feel like it just captures that experience. And to me, that was just so important. And with every wave painting I do, it's just, for me, it's so important capturing just that experience of being by the ocean and being near something that's so much greater than you and so much powerful than you, even though I believe we all have that inner power within us. And it just makes you feel like, wow, so many of the issues that I make so big in my life are actually so small. They're very little in comparison to like the greater scheme of life and the greater scheme of things. And that's why I always love the ocean. That's why I connect with it on such a deep level. And anytime I'm near somewhere where I can experience the ocean, that's like the first place I go, no matter what the weather is. Because just being able to be around that and being able to experience that is just so powerful. And it's just such a beautiful way to reconnect with the truth of who you are and the truth of what life is all about. So, anyways, I believe we're all here to just experience the beauty of life, and it's the constant unfolding of discovering who we are and what we're capable of. And I believe that's what life is all about. And for me, this painting was the first moment of experiencing that truth. And it was the beginning of really discovering myself, my painting style, and really became the unfoldment of all the paintings I've created up till this point in these past 6 years. So, hope you enjoy this, and yeah.